Greetings, Patrick here, and welcome to another edition of Dollar Theater, the Voters Edition. Yeah, it's been a couple weeks since we posted one. Just things been crazy around here, but we are catching up. We are catching up. So this last go around, we did comedies, and we put out Tropic Thunder, Pineapple Express, Mrs. Doubtfire, and this week's winner, or this not week but weeks, week's winner is Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story from 2007. It was a pretty close race. First, I thought it was just going to be a complete wipeout. Everybody loved Dewey, but then toward the end, Mrs. Doubtfire made a serious run at it, and we had over 40 votes, and Dewey Cox held on. Um, Tropic Thunder and Pineapple Express, very surprisingly, did not do as well as I thought they would. I have seen a lot of people talk about the movies. This is why I put them up there. It's like, well, people seem to think these movies are pretty popular, so let me throw them up. Um, but so Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, was directed by Jake Kasdan and written by Kasdan and Judd Apatow. It stars John C. Reilly uh, from Chicago fame, from the, the Perfect Storm, and a whole bunch of other things. Kristen Wiig, of course, we know her from Saturday Night Live. Tim Meadows, also from Saturday Night Live, and Jenna Fisher, who was doing The Office at that time. This is basically a parody of the biopic films, sometimes like Bohemian Rhapsody or Sunshine, or anything else that has to do with a personality. They make their life stories. Like A Complete Unknown is about Bob Dylan and that sort of thing. And what it does is just it creates a character, and Dewey Cox, pretty much based on Johnny Cash, and then basically has him morphs through the years, going through the lifestyle of a rich and famous musician. But of course, it's played for very broadly. There's a lot of slapstick in it. You know, just Dewey gets a start after accidentally killing his brother, playing machetes, and he's haunted by that, and his dad's upset because the wrong boy died. And so it's just a bunch of and you see him going through his life. Um, he comes through all the obstacles that a rock star does, all the women and the men maybe. Along with all the drugs and the rehab and everything else. Um, yeah, I mean, uh, okay, I'll be honest with you. I did not like this movie. I just did not like it at all. I thought it was cheesy. I know it's supposed to be cheesy, but I mean it's beyond cheese. It was like almost like watching a copy of a biopic via the airplane mode, and it just didn't work for me. I just thought it was, it's just tailored for an audience of an IQ of 10. But that's not to say this movie doesn't have some redeeming value to it, because it does. Um, you know, Before you hear me rant and rave about it being such a not a very good movie, but there is something I would highly recommend looking up, though, or getting, or even watching the movie for, and that is John C. Reilly. Holy crow. He actually does all his singing in this movie, and he's damn good. I mean, he's really good. I was, I expected it to be, somebody famous overdubbing him, or him not being able to sing at all, and that was part of one of the jokes was, what, they think this guy can sing, yet he's still famous, because that does happen in rock and in music. There's a lot of singers out there today that are really shitty, but they get out there because they get lucky. Um, but not in this case. He plays and sings on the tracks of the movie. Um, I'm just, I'm not totally surprised by that though, because this is not the first musical that he's done. If you remember, John C. Reilly also did Chicago, and while he only had one song in the movie, um, he it shows that he could sing. He can sing, and so he's not afraid of it, going on stage. So my only question, after watching this movie was, why didn't he ever record anything? I mean, seriously, record anything, like his original music or something like that, because the man has talent. I was really blown away by it. I was more blown away with that than I was the acting in this movie. Um, this movie, this movie, it's like again, it's one of those ones like Scary Movie or Airplane or Airplane Two, Loaded Weapon One. You just grab a whole bunch grab a bunch of mud, basically grab a bunch of mud. Like, I think this might be funny. We'll throw it in there, and we'll throw it on against the wall, and if it works, we'll keep it in. So there's all sorts of musicians that are referenced to this. There's Roy Orbison's mentioned to it, Glenn Campbell. Like I mentioned, the for Bob Dylan. Um, that was a little funny because he's singing like Bob Dylan with lyrics that mean nothing to nobody but Bob Dylan himself, and it's actually an improvement on Bob Dylan in the fact that while Dewey doesn't really sing about anything, so like Bob Dylan doesn't, um, at least you can understand the lyrics. At least you can understand the damn lyrics. I mean, with Bob Dylan, you get lyrics that mean nothing to him, nothing to nobody but him, and you can't even understand what those lyrics are. You also had versions of Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, Elvis, um, later on contemporary singers. So I think his heart's in the right place, and I mean, as far as trying to go for the laughs. I think it might have been better just to just make him. Man, I almost wish he almost could have made this straight. You know what I'm saying? Like make this, maybe like like he's a real person. Um, I know that I know that this is the title is a parody of Walk the Line, which is the Johnny Cash story. And if they were making this as Johnny Cash, man, he might not quite look like Johnny Cash as far as John D. Reilly goes. But boy, I'd like to see him give it a run. I mean, it's a whole lot better than trying to watch Jonah Hill play Jerry Garcia, which for some reason I don't think that movie ever came out. And thank God I saw that. I saw he was going to do a Jerry Garcia biopic, and I'm going like, this is exactly what this movie is made for. This is exactly the kind of movie this was created for, to poke fun at shit like that. Um, but no, I didn't like this movie at all, other than John C. Reilly. Um, no fault of the actors involved. It's just really cheesy, not very well written. It's just no. There's commentary on here if you want to hear their side of the story, and but as far as us, we didn't like it. We, you know, yeah, sort of litter box material actually. All right. Well, we're going to be back this week with another 4 movies. Me and the Cheetah, we picked them out. We picked out a mixture of films, and we do think it'll be a rather interesting one. And we hope that you'll come by and take a listen, take a look at what we're going to be put up. You can choose to see which movie me and the Cheetah will be reviewing. Of course, we also have our regular Dollar Theater that comes out on Monday. And all I can tell you about that is for the next 2 weeks, me and the Cheetah are going black and white. And we'll leave it at that. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and thank you for your comments and your feedback. And we will talk at you soon. Peace.